The big story yesterday was, of course, PewDiePie's usage of a racial slur that has generated a lot of attention and backlash, as well as condemnation from Firewatch co-creator Sean Vanneman. Now, for my last video, I did something a little risky by expressing my opinions on the usage of the word and the situation as a whole, but that's over with. That's a conversation for that video. PewDiePie did release a brief apology video today, in case anyone cares to know. But in this video, I'd like to move on to talk about what I think is a far more pertinent topic for the video game industry and YouTube as a platform. Regardless of what PewDiePie did, one thing that I cannot shake is the feeling that something's really off about Sean's backlash. One thing is for him to disapprove of PewDiePie's actions, raise awareness of the issue, and cut all ties and affiliation based on his own beliefs. But what Sean is doing here with his string of tweets and threats is more than that. He's taking things too far and making it too personal. He goes on to attack PewDiePie by saying, quote, "He's worse than a closeted racist. He's a propagator of despicable garbage that does real damage to the culture around this industry." He also brings up the topic of money for some reason, as if the fact that PewDiePie is making millions is the bigger issue than his behavior and the effect it might have had. And the way he says that PewDiePie is making money off of what we make is questionable in so many ways. His mentality seems to be that gaming channels and YouTubers owe their careers and financial stability to the developers and their games. Say what you want about PewDiePie and his content, love him or hate him, I think we can all at least agree that he doesn't solely owe his success to the existence of video games. What drew people to PewDiePie's channel and what made him millions was his distinct personality and video style. Sure, games did play a part in that, but to say that PewDiePie is making millions and leeching off of developers' hard work and efforts, in my opinion, is another gross exaggeration. If anything, I would argue that video games have greatly benefited from all the sales driven by YouTubers like PewDiePie, who draw people in through their distinct style and personality and bring attention to the games that they play. Now, where Sean's response really gets dicey is when he threatens to file a DMCA takedown of PewDiePie's Firewatch content and any future Campo Santo games. Cutting ties and affiliation is one thing, but copyright claiming videos on the sole basis that you strongly disapprove of someone, and then urging other developers to follow suit in singling out one man that Sean personally condemns, now that's a dangerous precedent. From an idealistic standpoint, when you copyright something, what you're essentially doing is claiming it as your own work. But can you really say that PewDiePie's Firewatch videos actually belong to Sean and his team? Sure, Sean and team made Firewatch and the game is featured in one or two of PewDiePie's videos, but it was PewDiePie who created and edited those videos and who inserted his own personality and commentary into it. It's not like PewDiePie's just uploading uncut, unedited gameplay footage. He's making them his own. If you ask me, for all intents and purposes, PewDiePie's videos belong to PewDiePie. Let's Play videos belong to their respective Let's Players. Now, from a legal standpoint, things get a little murky. The law that currently protects so many YouTubers is what's called the Fair Use Clause under the US copyright law, which states that under certain circumstances, copyrighted material can be used for the purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, research, commentary, so on and so forth, without consequences. But due to how vague and subjective this criteria is, there are many factors that could play into what's considered fair use. In a recent article by website Kotaku, according to various lawyers that they talked to, things like the length of videos, amount of commentary, type of game being played, all play a part. However, it does seem to be commonly agreed upon that more often than not, game developers do have the legal right to issue takedowns of any gameplay footage posted online. One lawyer said, technically, video game companies can issue takedown requests for any gameplay that is posted online, and companies like Nintendo have done this in the past. Generally, the more content used and the less new content added, the less likely it is to be considered fair use. Another lawyer elaborated with the amount of content used in a Let's Play, the fact it goes to the heart of the game itself, is way in excess of what any court up until now has said is fair use. You use too much of the content for it to qualify for fair use. Kotaku's article also pointed to a fair use checklist used by Columbia University, And when you look at that, PewDiePie's video and Let's Plays as a whole would technically not qualify as fair use. After all, there is most certainly commercial activity involved with ads. Profit is being made from these videos, and much of the draw is entertainment. So legally, when it comes to things like Let's Plays and walkthroughs, the cards seem to be stacked against the content creators. But something else to consider is that Sean Vanneman, up until now, was perfectly content with benefiting and profiting from letting YouTubers stream his games. There is even a clause in the official Firewatch website that says, "Yes, we love that people stream and share their experiences in the game. You are free to monetize your videos as well." While I wouldn't go as far as calling this a legal contract, this is them basically giving the okay on streaming and monetizing videos. So to suddenly back off on that word and start filing copyright claims, wouldn't that be false advertisement or some form of entrapment? The bigger issue isn't the exact legalities of YouTube monetization and fair use, but rather the idea that developers are willing to benefit from letting things slide until it becomes personally or professionally inconvenient for them. Suddenly, now that Sean Vanneman is outraged by PewDiePie, he decides to single him out and declare his content as not commentary, but rather ad growth for his brand. Now that it's convenient to him, he decides to bust out his legalese and give his own definition of what's considered commentary or fair use. What's clear to me here is that for Sean Vanneman, this isn't just about protecting his property. Hell, PewDiePie didn't even say the racial slur in a Firewatch video. It was during a PlayerUnknown's Battleground stream. Sean has all the right to be offended, but again, one thing is to cut ties and affiliation like Disney Maker did following PewDiePie's last debacle. One thing is to say something along the lines of, from here on out, Campo Santo's games won't be sending him review copies or condoning future streams of their games on the channel. But to take down already existing videos that, up until now, he happily benefited from, to twist the definitions of copyright, fair use, and commentary when it's convenient to indulge in some kind of personal crusade, from an idealistic viewpoint, that seems like it's crossing a line. As for his part in benefiting from PewDiePie's videos, all Sean had to say about that was, "That's something for us to think about." That simple, huh? And keep in mind that Sean doesn't just want to demonetize PewDiePie's Firewatch videos, he wants to copyright strike them, and he wants other developers to follow suit in his crusade. If you get 3 copyright strikes on YouTube, your entire channel gets taken down, and this could potentially happen to PewDiePie if Sean can rally other developers. Sean going after PewDiePie like this, it's a little more than cutting ties or raising awareness of an issue. It's him trying to utterly and completely take someone down. And as I said before, this all creates a very dangerous precedent. If Sean's little crusade ends up getting traction, it could pave the way for other game developers to take down or regulate user-created content on the basis of personal opinions and disapproval. It could pave the way for others to take advantage of copyright claims and twist the meaning and legalities of fair use or the concept of criticism or commentary when it's convenient. It could pave the way for other gaming companies to go on their own little personal crusades or smear campaigns against content creators who don't sit well with him for whatever reason. Sean has all the right to be upset with PewDiePie's behavior, but to go this far out of his way, to take advantage of the situation and system like this, if you ask me, that's a bigger concern than someone irresponsibly letting a word slip out of his mouth in a fit of frustration. This is him just singling someone out and getting everyone some pitchforks to protest or whatever. This is about him bending the rules when it best suits him, and I'm not so sure that makes for a great practice moving forward. With that, I would like to end this discussion video. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know in the comments below what you make of Sean Vanneman's recent backlash. Also, if you found this video useful and enjoy my content, I hope you'll consider supporting me on Patreon to help our community remain independent from third-party sponsorship and corporate interference. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out!